How's it going, everybody? It's Anthony from Golden Arrow. The thing I want to talk about today is balancing financial stability, financial awareness, and your spiritual health. The thing that I often think about is how I kind of teeter back and forth. In my life, sometimes I will go really deep into the spiritual aspect of things. I'll, read the Bible. I'll go to church quite often. I'm a Catholic, so, adoration, receiving the sacraments, things like that. And that's all good. But at a certain point, it kind of felt like I was, not that I was doing too much, but that I was putting so much attention into this spiritual growth aspect of my life that I had neglected to live life or to live in this world. It's my belief that we're not of this world, but we're born into it and we live in it. And even though you could characterize it as one night in a bad hotel, at the end of the day, this is where we live. This is our existence as we can physically see it. So, on the other hand, you still have to be pragmatic about things. You still have to pay bills. You still have obligations and responsibilities, especially if you're a parent, especially if you have a wife or husband and kids, and you have all of these practical things that you have to do, that it is still good to have your spiritual foundation. I am of the belief that you really do need a solid religious foundation. Of course, I believe Catholic foundation as the way that guides the rest of your life. And when you have that, ideally, when you go into the financial space, you can approach it in a much less greedy way. Now, it's not always easy. Sometimes you try to do things the right way. We're human beings, so we're going to make mistakes. That's something that I kind of struggle with, is sort of going back and forth of like, okay, God, do I need to put more effort into, understanding your word? Do I need to put more effort into making more of an income, or, doing a lot of other things in this world? And I don't have an answer for you about a perfect balance. Part of the religious belief, part of the belief in God, is that God is constantly guiding you through these things, that God is constantly assisting you, and he constantly wants you to ask him for help. So that's the thing that I found, and that's one of the justifications for having that foundation, is that you start with God. He's there, he's trying to help you. And so when you go and you try to do these pragmatic things about your life, like learning about finance, or buying a house, or buying a car, or trying to start a business, or whatever those things might be, going to school, that you go about it in such a way that you are elevating your existence in a real way, in the way that God intended for us. And part of that is not being so like overthinking. Part of it is also not trying to do things perfectly. Starting this channel was something that I've been praying about for a long time. I knew my vices. I still know my vices. I still have to protect against them. But at the end of the day, I had to talk to God and be like, God, this is the thing that I think you want me to do, or this is at least the thing that I want to do, right? Because as much as God is guiding us in our lives, we still have free will. I freely chose to start this channel and to try to spread the word of God. Also, to connect with people that are like minded, connect with people that are really trying to make a difference in their lives and the others. But it doesn't start with looking in at yourself of like, oh, woe is me, or whatever. The change starts from within you, but you have to let God in, and you have to let him transform you from within, so that rather than being oriented towards yourself, you're oriented towards other people. You're oriented outward. How do I improve other people's lives, or how do I reach out to other people? And you don't have to make like $1 million. You can get like a hot dog for a homeless person. You can smile at someone in the street. You can ask someone how their day is going. There's we sort of get caught up in this thing of like, if only I had $1 million, I could just donate to all these different charities, or I could do all this really cool stuff, all this charitable stuff. But it starts now. It starts when you're broke. It starts when you have very little, because God can work with that. And money is an amplifier, right? If you're a bad person, if you're a crappy person now, then it's only going to get worse later. But if you start now and you build up those virtues now, then when you're older and wiser and more responsible, and you're given more wealth, and you're able to steward all of that, then you're going to be able to know how to use it. And you're going to be less likely to abuse those gifts, those things that God gives us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm looking forward to continuing this channel. Thank you.